sorry for what? Oh, just because you're gonna cry on Oprah, you expect me to feel sorry for you? Fuck out my
Right,
face. You should know. You should know what was happening and shit. You should know the game.
right.
You ain't gonna be no fucking Princess Tiana from the Princess and the Frog. Fuck out my face.
That's funny. That
The
is
Weekend.
funny. Yes, had to do it, man, because this dude been getting this. I went on a whole rant like last year. Some when I even heard about the Grammys like snubbing them. I'm like, what? I'm not surprised. It's the Grammys. That's what they do. You know. I was like, yeah, we got to I got to put respect on the Weekend discography because who else gonna do it? You know. And dude, I felt like the dude should have wiped out the whole Grammys if he was nominated. Recently. Well, this video is already gonna be dropped to tomorrow. So last night y'all was watching the Grammys and y'all didn't see my boy Abel Tesfaye show up because he said fuck the Grammys, I'm done. Dude was like, yo, like he said to the New York Times that I will no longer allow my label to submit my music to the Grammys. So he done with them. Even if he come out with an album this year and they nominate him next year, he said he done. You know. Now he could be just mad because in the heat of the moment because after I didn't get nominated, but who knows? He might be like totally done with them.
And
You know.
that's what's gonna happen with Roddy Rich in the future because
Hmm.
the nigga had one of the biggest hits, probably the biggest hit in 2020. And
Right.
you mean to tell me that this nigga didn't get one Grammy?
Hmm. But
Wow.
didn't he perform? He performed though, right?
Yeah, he performed, but
Yeah.
hell, anybody can perform at the Grammys these
Yeah.
days.
Basically, we saw Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak perform, and they wasn't nominated.
I want to be real with you.
Hmm.
Them forming a group with one another, I don't know if I'm real.
You don't care for it?
I mean, I like them. They make good music, but certain artists, I noticed that a lot of artists are not doing groups or super groups. It's just certain artists need to get off that bullshit. Like Doctor,
Right.
like E42 Short, Ice Cube,
Hmm.
Snoop Dogg group that they're forming. I'm like, oh lord, that's like
Yeah.
that should be like the best West Coast hip hop album.
Right.
That should be like the best. Y'all should have all the West Coast producers like QD3, Dre. Like I don't want to hear Mustard. I don't want to hear
Right.
all that. I don't want to hear that Southern shit. I don't want to hear um what's her boy's name? Michael made it or whatever.
Hmm.
No.
Oh, Mike Will made it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to hear all that shit. I want to hear vintage West Coast G funk. I
Right.
want to hear that pimping shit. I want to hear that boss shit. No, because and I'm not. It's not like I'm living in the past, but at the
Right.
same time, I know that people just love to like fit in with the younger motherfuckers and shit,
Hmm.
and that's always bad.
Yeah.
Look
Definitely.
at teacher. Look at Teacher Campbell.
Yep.
Oh, you're trying to dress like she's 28 something years old and shit.
The Weekend and yo and he should have been. I've been saying it. He would have swept the Grammys last night, and it's a travesty. And now, even though I watched the Grammys, I just watched it for the performances and the fashion, and it was a good show. Yeah, I liked the whole COVID procedure show that they put on. It was very creative. Probably one of the best in years, and I haven't said that about the Grammys in forever. You know what I'm saying? Because I stopped watching it after a while. I just thought like they're not in tune with what the fans want, and snubbing the Weekend just shows that. You know what I'm saying? So even though Nas won a Grammy, first time Grammy, and Ice T won a Grammy, they still messed up in the major categories with not nominating the Weekend. So I'm like, yo, why not just do a ranking for all of his albums, including the mixtapes? So this is like a salute to the Weekend and his great music for the past 10 years, a whole decade worth of classic stuff he's dropped. You know what I'm saying? The multi-talented singer, songwriter, record producer from Canada. It's not just Drake, it's the Weekend as well as that represents Canada, and for me, like my first um introduction to him was 2010, like just being on YouTube. I think like the same time I started listening to Frank Ocean. It was like the same time I started listening to the Weeknd. It was like around the same time, and discovering Frank Ocean's music. And then like the Weeknd came, and I heard like a couple of his songs like Wicked on YouTube, and I used to see like a lot of people commenting saying that yo, like they were comparing him to like the next Maxwell, and that he sounded like the next like a young Michael Jackson. And ironically, he did a rendition of Dirty Diana on the Echoes of Silence mixtape. And I'm like, yo, like this dude is he's dope. And I remember listening to the House of Balloons, and it was a post that Questlove put up, actually was on Facebook when I had Facebook back then. And Questlove put up a post, and he was like, yo, like the Thursday, I think it was either House of Balloons or Thursday mixtape. He's like, yo, like I suggest people go check this out. It's a dope R&B. It's dope R&B by this guy named The Weeknd. And I checked it out. I'm like, Questlove got taste when it comes to music. I'm like, let me check this out, and I checked it out, and it was dope. It was something different. It was like real moody, dark R&B, and like the subject matter he was like speaking about, like after parties and drunk women and all that, and and being in love and out of love, and and he definitely is a great singer, and from every project, whether it was House of Balloons, Thursday, Echoes of Silence, and then all the albums that came after that, I've been a fan of his. It feels like overnight, you know what I'm saying? And you know he's definitely a force to be reckoned with in this industry. And it must be something in the water from Canada, like Drake. We saw this with Drake, and then like all the artists he came out with, like Division and Daniel Caesar and Magic Jordan and Party Next Door. Is definitely something up there that they're doing right. When we see like the whole OVO XO movement going on. So that was like my introduction to him. What was your introduction to the Weekend?
Hmm. I guess it was like his cover of the Dirty Diana song from Michael Jackson.
Right.
I don't know. I just felt like that was a dope cover. I feel like not a lot of people really talk about that cover and shit like that. But I also want to say my first time that really made me a fan of shit was the song "Step Into the AM." Just by the way, off he was flowing off of that track. Yeah, he was definitely doing his thing. To me, if you like, very very dope hip hop group, very good duo, and does not get like a lot of love nowadays.
Yeah. So the Weekend, like for me, I never always down like streamed his mixes. I never like got any, like I don't have none of the physical. I want to get like the physical copies though. 'Cause I know they out of print, but I never got them in physical. But like they were always like on my iPod. I always had like all of the mixtapes and the albums, and like House of Balloons is like one of my favorites. Like that's definitely I think that's my favorite mixtape from him. Like definitely a classic um body of work that came out in 2011. Actually, the anniversary is next week for it. It's gonna be on the 21st. It will be the anniversary for that. It's gonna be 10 years for that mixtape. Actually, that's crazy.
Oh wow.
And yeah, yeah, it came out in 2011. When you hear like songs like "High for This" and "Glass Table Girls," "The Morning," "Wicked Games," that was definitely one of my favorites. Bluff music. It was just like a great body of work by him, and he had producers like Elangelo and the Dream Machine and Doc McKinney. Real dope, moody R&B music, especially for like this generation now. I think a lot of the kids could relate to the subject matter, and I thought it was a great mixtape. So that's like as far as ranking, like I probably um where would I rank that? That's the best mixtape for me. Like that would be like out of the trilogy, that'd be like my favorite one. And then like when we get to what's the other one? Thursday. Thursday was like another one of my favorites. I enjoyed that one. It's not my favorite like compared to the House of Balloons, but I got like some joints that I like on there, like the Zone with Drake. That was one of my favorite tracks on there, and Rolling Stone, which he released as a single. That's one of my favorites. I think that's like one of the best weekend ballads ever, in my opinion. Like the rolling the Spanish guitars and him singing, and it's like a real acapella track. I'll definitely love that song, and Life of the Party. That was another good song, and you know then we Echoes of Silence. Echoes of Silence. Also, that was like another great mixtape, and that one and House of Balloons are like my two favorites. Like I would put House of Balloons one, and then Echoes of Silence two, and then Thursday three. Echoes of Silence. That's the one with the Dirty Diana. Starts off with the Dirty Diana rendition, and you got um same old song with Juicy J. He's like talking on the end of that track. That was a dope joint. The Fall next. Next is like another dope ballad. That was one of my favorites on there. So like just those three mixtapes is like really what built his fan base, and then like we get to the retail albums. So like if you had to rank the mixtapes, how would you rank them?
Hmm, good question. Um, I would have to say my number three choice would possibly be what's that shit called? The Thursday mixtape.
Yeah.
That one was a very solid joint right there. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Definitely. Again, the weekend doing some experimentation with that one. I don't like the album cover. I really don't like the
You,
album
you
cover.
didn't care for that?
Nah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just felt like that was a very, 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 very dope album. Shit, that was mixtape, excuse me. So yeah, that's my number three.
Okay. So that's your favorite, the Thursday mixtape, and then where you ranking Echoes of Silence or House of Balloons?
You sure? Where am I ranking the other two?
Yeah.
That's easy. Number two would be Echoes of Silence, and number one probably House of Blues.
Okay. Cool. As far as the albums, like for me, Kissland. You know what's so crazy? Kissland. A lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say like Kissland is like a classic. I never felt like that. I felt like Kissland was dope. It had some bangers, but it was never my favorite Weekend album. Like I like there was some bangers what's the joint Belong to the World. That was a single that was fire. Live For with Drake. I love that joint. Um, Tears in the Rain, the Wonderlust remix, the Pharrell remix. They had some bangers on that. Odd Look, but it wasn't my favorite Weekend album. I don't know, like I just wasn't. There was some songs I didn't. I just thought it was like some album filler on there. But it got some bangers. It just wasn't my favorite. So that would be like my number five as far as like the retail albums. So you have a number five?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Starboy.
Okay.
I never liked this album.
You
I
never like
just
Starboy?
no.
Wow.
I just felt like it was too mainstream. It
Right.
was too. It just felt polished in comparison to
Hmm.
like what he's done in the past.
Right.
And so yeah, this whole album was it was alright. It could have
It
been
was
better.
alright.
Yeah, never really done
Yeah.
well.
My bad. I'm saying number five. He got four albums. It's that Kissland would be my number four. My number three for me would be number three for me would be Starboy. I actually like there was some bangers on Starboy, but again I thought there was some album filler. I think he had too many songs on Starboy, and some of them to me were like some album filler. Like he had like about 18 songs, and then if you get the Target bonus is like 20 joints, like 19 joints. Well, he had the Starboy remix, but I didn't really care for the remix. I thought the Starboy was good on its own. I Feel It Coming. I love that song. That was a classic with Daft Punk. Nothing Without You. That was a banger. Sidewalks with Kendrick. Secrets, False Alarm, Party Monster. He had some bangers on there. I just felt like there was some songs again, like I felt with Kissland. It wasn't. I just thought they were like some of them were album filler, and could have shortened it to like maybe 11 or 12 songs and cut out the rest. But definitely not a bad album. Like it's definitely banging. I love the production. It's really dark. You know, definitely I would say a solid weekend album. I know a lot of fans love Starboy. Some people when it came out they said he was going too commercial, but I thought the production was great. He stayed with the formula. He did have like some big names on here. Daft Punk is they're big. Kendrick, Lana Del Rey, Future. So it's definitely like a good album. That would be my number three. What's your number three?
So I said Starboy.
Yeah.
Um, I'm gonna go with Beauty Behind the Darkness.
Okay.
To me, I've always had a complicated liking with this album
Right.
because this is around the time when Earned It pretty much came out, and everyone knows that song.
Right.
Um, yeah, this album was pretty solid for the most part. It definitely had that, that R&B, that strictly R&B flavor to it. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, and it was like 14 tracks on that, and I mean, if you get the Japanese edition, it's like 17 because he had like the Hills Eminem remix, and then he had another Hills remix with Nicki Minaj. I didn't even know that about that one. And yeah, that one would be my number two because definitely a solid album. I think this is better than Starboy. When he had joints like Can't Feel My Face, which is like I could have heard Michael Jackson do that joint. The Hills was fire. Tell Your Friends, Earned It from 50 Shades of Grey, the movie and soundtrack. He had Lana Del Rey again on this album. He had Ed Sheeran, one of my favorite artists of the last decade, on this album. I definitely thought it was a more complete album. It's like this to me was like his breakout album was Beauty Behind the Madness, and then Starboy dropped. But this was like his coming out party with this album. Really solid ballads and danceable R&B, and the production was great. So that's my what we up to? That's my number two.
Number
Yeah.
two, very dope choice. My number two will possibly be After Hours. No, wait, not
Okay.
After Hours. Excuse me. Kissland. That's my number two.
Kissland. Okay.
Yeah, this was pretty much like his first studio album and whatnot.
Right.
His first studio album, like I said, definitely had like a lot of joints like Wonderlust and Kissland. He was still on his like indie. Well, he like his atmosphere. He was like weird era at that time, but at the same
Mhm.
time, he was getting attention at the same time too. So I did fuck with this album.
Right. And my number one is no surprise. It is After Hours.
Same.
That is my favorite weekend album. You know, and with this is like I like the whole concept with him doing like all the videos. It was like it reminded me of like Casino meets the Joker, and the videos were like very dark, and some of them I didn't care for. Like the what's the video for I think it's Too Late, and the video like where he's like his head gets decapitated, and he's like there's a girl singing with his head. I didn't care for those videos, but like the video for Blinding Lights, I like that. You know, they he's so many bangers on here. Too Late, Scared to Live, Snow Child, In Your Eyes, um, Until I Bleed Out, Alone Again. So many bangers. I thought it was very danceable retro '80s production. Metro Boomin was like, he did some tracks on here. You got Elangelo, The Weeknd, as he self-produced a lot of the joints too, and just a complete album. Definitely love it. He has the In Your Eyes remix with a Doja Cat that was dope. He did there's another remix he did with I forgot the name of that joint. It might have been In Your Eyes. He have another remix with Kenny G, cause like Kenny G's playing on the saxophone. That was dope, and just some dope joints that I enjoyed off of this album, and it's definitely to me like I thought it was the best album of the year, like in any genre of 2020, and it's a travesty that the Grammys failed again to recognize that. And yeah, that's my favorite weekend album of all time right now is this one. Now it could always change. Like he might drop an album tomorrow, and I might surpass After Hours, but right now in this very moment, that's my favorite weekend album.
Okay, okay. Um, yeah, like I said, this is my favorite weekend album too.
Yeah,
It's kind of growing on me since the last time I listened to it. I just felt like with this album right here, they were definitely taking that shit more maturely.
right.
Vocally, they were still at their peak, in my opinion. Yeah, man, I definitely love this album. Um, it is a very good album. Definitely highly recommend
And I wanted to mention the EP also, the my Dear Melancholy EP.
it. Mm-hmm.
I wanted to mention that. Yeah, he had like an EP that came out in what was it 20, I think it's 2019 it came out. Yeah, 2018. My bad. Came out 2018, and he dropped the single "Call Out My Name." That was a big hit, and that was produced by like he had contributions from Mike Will. Mike Will made it. We mentioned him before, and Skrillex, and Gesaffelstein, and the Healer. And yeah, it was like a dope. It was like a prelude to like what was coming next. Even though I think After Hours is more darker than this project, but I thought like he had some bangers on here. You know, Call Out My Name, and Try Me, Wasted Times, Hurt You. Privilege. I thought it was definitely a dope nice little EP, and this is like his only EP that he ever released. So
Yes.
have you heard it yet?
You said what?
Have you heard? You ever heard the EP?
What's the name of the EP again?
My Dear Melancholy.
That one I've not heard.
Yeah, yeah. This I think you would like this because it's only like 6 songs. So I think you would like it.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
definitely check it out and shit like that.
So I just wanted to mention that I didn't put that in the ranking. I mean, it's an EP. I didn't really put that. That would have been probably lower anyway. But like as far as like I just wanted to like include the mixtapes and the albums, and I'm like, yo, this dude discography is flawless from the mixtapes to the EP, the albums, flawless discography. He is one of the best pop R&B artists out in my opinion. Top three, I'll put him right up there with Bruno Mars and with Anderson Paak. I think he's that good. And I'm looking forward to whatever he drops next, whether it's a single or another album, whatever. You know,
Yeah, I definitely know what you're talking about.
salute to the weekend. Salute to OVO, XO, that whole crew out there in Canada. I got fam in Toronto. Shout out to them. And it's up in the six. You know,
Yes, sir.
and this is the weekend album ranking. I expect to get at least 300 views on this, man. For all the weekend lovers out there, subscribe to the channel, Danny Rap Podcast. Like, comment, share. Let me know your favorite weekend project, your favorite weekend albums, or weekend moments. Let me know.
Yeah, this has been
You know.
fun.
Thank you, Reg, as always.
Always.
And I'll be back when I'll be back.
I'll take it easy.
All right, yo.
Peace.
Peace.